Hey, what's up guys? Nice here, and welcome to my Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn Advanced Summoner Guide. I've gotten lots of requests for a summoner guide lately, and I figured I'd go ahead and pull one out. Most of this guide will revolve around min-maxing damage and some tips that I found useful while playing Summoner. I'll be releasing a more new player-friendly summoner guide in the future, but I wanted to get this one out first, so let's go ahead and go into the first part of the guide. One of the first things I like to talk about is stutter stepping, or animation canceling. What is stutter stepping? It is the act of canceling your spell cast animation early to gain extra time to move and still complete the cast. Due to the delay in this game, you can move early during a cast to trick the game into thinking you're still casting. Doing this will gain you valuable time to move out of an AoE. This can be achieved by moving as soon as the cast bar is give or take about 85 to 95% finished, depending on the cast time of the spell. While this may not seem like a huge gain, it is incredibly valuable if you're trying to min-max damage in movement-intensive fights, like say turn 9. The next thing we'll go over is global cooldowns, or GCD for short. Using your global cooldowns to gain maximum potential damage while on the move is very important. One thing you will notice is that when hardcasting a skill, all of your player skills will become locked or blacked out. This means that you can't weave any of your off GCD skills such as Pet Bug. Alternatively, you will notice that when using an instant cast spell, all of your skills except for your off GCD skills will go on cooldown, making it an extremely valuable time to weave in skills and maximize damage potential. Using any instant cast spell that isn't in conjunction with swift cast will enable you to use any off GCD skills in between casts. Skills that can be used within this time frame are as follows: Spur, Rouse, and Kindle, Raging Strikes, Swift Cast, Eye for an Eye, Virus, Aether Flow, Fester, Bane, Energy Drain, Surecast, Quelling Strikes, and any type of potion. My method for this tactic is to cast Ruin 1 followed by Ruin 2 anytime I need to use an off GCD ability, most notably when my Festers are up. Alternatively, if you need to move out of an AoE and want to maximize DPS potential, you would also use this method so that you're moving during your GCD. Another great time to use this method is after your initial dot application, as after using Bio, you will also be placed into GCD. By mastering this technique, you will maximize your uptime for inflicting damage during a battle. Now that we've talked a bit about cooldowns, let's dive into dot application and maintenance. By now, most people should know the proper way to apply dots in battle, but quite a lot of people don't really know when to reapply them, or even in what order. I've done a lot of testing with various methods, and with the following method I was able to squeeze out the most DPS. Due to dot ticks on this game proccing globally every 3 seconds, the best time to reapply dots are when they are under 3 seconds left, as they will have already procced or will be proccing in the next 1 to 2 seconds. By doing this and making sure to never let the dot icons disappear, you will maximize your damage potential. You can do this by reapplying Bio 2 and Miasma at around 3 seconds and Bio as soon as it hits 1 second. As doing this perfectly each time might not be the case, you are still allowed a 3-second window on each dot to try to maintain them. So what about Contagion? When do you use that? The best time to use Contagion is when your dots are buffed by either Raging Strikes, an Intelligence Pot, or Foe's Requiem, as it will snapshot any damage increases and maintain them until the dots expire. If your dots are about to fall off and you know Contagion is coming up alongside any damage buffs, let 1 to 2 dots fall off completely while spamming Ruin 1, only reapplying the last 2 dots if you know you can catch them before they fall off. While we're on the subject of Contagion, let's talk about Miasma 2. Miasma 2 is an instant cast AoE dot which lasts only 15 seconds, that with my current gear only does about 12 to 15 DPS in 15 seconds, versus a 32 you will get from Ruin 1 spam in that same time frame. Now there is a time where you can use Miasma 2 and gain DPS, and that's in conjunction with Contagion, or when there is more than one mob to attack. Now let's talk about bursting. For some reason people tend to think that a summoner can't burst as well as other classes, and that is just incredibly untrue. If done correctly, you should be able to keep up with the bursts of any other class. If your team currently doesn't contain a lot of bursts, such as a Black Mage or Dragoon, you will need 3 Aetherflow stacks to do the following method. Method 1. Instant Burst. This method is used on things such as Conflags in Twintania or Jails for Titan. You will start off by pre-applying dots before you know these attacks are coming up to get full duration on your dots. Bane the main target's dots onto the adds, energy drain it, ruin 1 plus ruin 2 and follow it with the Fester. Additionally, having your Spur plus Rouse combo up with an Enkindle should also net you quite a burst as well. Keep in mind this is only for when you need instant burst now. Method 2, Disperse Burst. For this method you will need a minimum of 2 Aether Flows, and it's best used against adds such as the Dreadnoughts in turn 8. We will start this method the same as the first by applying Bane, Ruin 1 spamming, and using Fester when needed. When the mob is close to dying, we will begin our Ruin 1 plus Ruin 2 spamming, and if when it's almost dead you don't have time for a hard cast at Ruin 1, you will Ruin 2 for an extra bit of damage. While using both these methods, we can also take advantage of the pet skill Aerial Slash, which deals a 90 potency attack to a target and any nearby enemies to do more effective damage on both the boss and the adds. If the mob is about to die and dots are about to fall off, do not reapply the dots, but continue your Ruin 1 and Ruin 2 spam, as you will not get the full potency benefit from your dots. Remember, dots tick every 3 seconds. It will take you about 6 to 7 seconds to reapply your dots before you can Ruin 1 spam, which means you will miss out on about 3 ruins and a Ruin 2. Now on to the final and most asked about portion, my opening rotation. For my opening rotation you will need to already have 3 Aether Flow stacks primed and your Aether Flow ability ready to use as well. The following is what I think is an optimal rotation. Obey, Raging Strikes, Bio 2, Miasma, Bio, Energy Drain, Fester, Swiftcast, Shadow Flare, Rouse, Spur, Miasma 2 plus Contagion, Ruin 1 plus Ruin 2 and Kindle, Ruin 1 spam, and then Ruin 1 plus Ruin 2 spam until your Fester is off GCD. When your Bio is at about 4 to 5 seconds, you will want to hard cast Shadow Flare and then reapply Bio followed by Miasma, and then Bio 2 in that order. At this point you will just rotate between each reapplication while using Swiftcast Shadow Flare on each odd number rotation. The reason I use Energy Drain in this rotation is because you will catch 2 Festers with Raging Strikes and 1 Energy Drain with Raging Strikes, allowing you to get into your next 3 Aether Flows 10 seconds earlier. While this is a higher opening burst, you will lose roughly 100 to 200 damage if you don't crit on your Energy Drain, but it's a very negligible amount. A big reason I like to use this method is that you can't use Fester immediately after applying Bio, as it won't take the Bio as being applied yet, but by using Energy Drain you will have killed enough time to take advantage of Bio in your Fester. A normal Energy Drain with Raging Strikes applied will hit roughly at 530 for me and about 840 on a crit, whereas a normalized Fester will deal about 840 to 920 damage. If for some reason you decide that this rotation is not for you, just completely remove the Energy Drain from the rotation and Fester like normal. The choice is up to you. Let's check out a clip of this rotation in effect. And that's it for my advanced summoner guide. I hope it helps you guys out. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to leave them below in the comments section and I will respond as soon as I see them. As I said before, I will be releasing more of a beginner's guide for summoner in the future. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel to check it out. You can also follow me on Twitch at xaniasx where I stream regularly, and on Twitter also at xaniasx where you can keep up to date on what I'm doing. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.